KGB. So he's in charge of their spy organization, and Alan Dulles becomes in charge of the CIA. And they both orchestrated the spreading of these stay-behind units all over the world. I found them in Iran when we overthrew Mossadegh in 1953. They were in Guatemala when we overthrew that government the year after. Operation Condor is kind of the kissing cousin of Gladio in Latin America. They were scattered throughout all of Latin America. They're all over Africa. They were all over Asia.
Who are these people, though? Are they American soldiers? They were who exactly are the people that were scattered in all of these disparate places?
So the concept was to take normal, everyday citizens in a country, and I'll specifically talk about Italy because, as you mentioned, in 1990, Italy was the only one that did an in-depth investigation, and that's the reason why this entire network is now referred to as Operation Gladio, because every country called it something else. Like in Portugal, they called it Agenter Press, and I mentioned Turkey, they called it Grey Wolves. The French version was OAS, so they all have different names, but they've now all generically been called Operation Gladio because Italy was the only one that did an in-depth investigation. And in Italy, what they did to recruit these people is they went into towns, and they were all like 15 people, and they were given caches of weapons to include rifles, C4 explosives, communication equipment, and money. And they were buried in normally a wooded area, so that when they got the call, they could fall in on this cache of weapons and do whatever the mission was. And as you said, all of the missions, not the majority, all of the missions were domestic terrorism. And the only two people that the SDECE, which was the organization in Italy, just call it their Central Intelligence, their version of the CIA. The only two people of those 15 member units that they knew was the leader and the assistant leader. They didn't know any of the names of the other citizens. And that's why they called them werewolf units. They were citizens by day and killers by night. And there were thousands of these units all over Italy. And this same thing, as a matter of fact, William Colby, a future CIA director, set them up in Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. You know, Sweden, the neutral country. They were everywhere.